Physicists compare space to a piece of cloth. It can be folded, ripped, cut, or wrinkled. Now, imagine two pieces of cloth. Two universes, each occupying the same space at the same time. Impossible? This is part of the premise behind the Tholian Web. But just imagine if someone or something punched a hole through one universe, exposing yet another. Imagine what would happen if you slipped into that hole. We'll explore this dangerous phenomenon and its near-tragic consequences for James Kirk in the Tholian Web.
You know, Morty, you haven't changed a bit. Oh, hi. The name of the episode was The Trouble with Tribbles, and I played Arn Darvin, a Klingon, who poisoned the Tribbles because he didn't like them, and he's the guy that put the quadrotriticale in the grain. All right, I poisoned the grain, take them away. Because I remember Shatner all day long was rehearsing quadrotriticale, quadrotriticale. Who put the grain in the quadrotriticale?
The what? The what?
I mean, it's different because it was pure whimsy. It was fabulous. It was, I mean, when you can get whimsical in a science fiction thing, when you can get whimsy.
We'll sell an instruction and maintenance manual with this thing.
If I did, what would happen to man's search for knowledge?
And drama in a script and interject a lot of humor into it, you got all the bases covered, you know? And it was treated, though, very seriously.
And I hope I never see one of those fuzzy, miserable things again.
I mean, you know, guys like Morty here, they made a lot of money. Morty made overtime. Morty is in the old Tribbles home now out in Calabasas, next to the old actors home. All the Tribbles from the show are there now, right, Morty? Yes. Everything okay, Morty? Well, I'll tell. Again with the Sci-Fi Channel?
Our mission? Historical research. We are monitoring Earth communications to find out how our planet survived desperate problems in the year 1968.
We came along during the hippie period, if you recall, and the youth of the country at that time were very despondent. They were on the highways, hitchhiking with their dogs, going quickly to nowhere.
I mean, I know this world needs help. That's why some of my generation are kind of crazy and rebels, you know?
We had political assassinations, and simultaneously half of us probably were very restless and on the road at that point.
We wonder if we're going to be alive when we're 30.
They began to pick up on the show. They picked up on it probably before anybody else did.
It combines extraordinary adventure, but in a very interesting way, the same hominess and humanity and humor that many of the hit sitcoms did at the time.
And it was always my feeling that it gave a certain confidence to the youth of the country, a group of people going about it very comfortably, caring for each other.
Roddenberry created a family. It was rather prophetic vision of what we've come to call the nuclear family in the 80s and 90s, but it was in fact the family.
Spock, give it up. Return to the Enterprise family.
There is a warmth, there is a connection, there is a family.
Jim!
They may be on a spaceship the size of, you know, the Houston Astrodome, but there's a feel of the all-American living room to it.
Well, my favorite episode.
It would have to be The Cage. It was just perfect, perfect Star Trek.
There have been many, I've evolved many answers to that question.
Well, I have a number of favorites. City on the Edge, but that's everyone's favorite.
My favorite episode, let's see, what was that girl's name?
Oh, that's very easy. The Doomsday Machine.
Then I would choose one that was popular.
I liked Shore Leave a lot.
City on the Edge of Forever. Not only did they have Joan Collins in it, but it was a wonderful story, and it had things to do, and
I like This Side of Paradise.
or Trouble with Tribbles was funny, and I like to be funny. And,
Journey to Babel is my favorite.
but when I really think, like, what do I really, without trying to be amusing and entertaining, what do I really mean by an answer to that?
The Way to Eden was my least favorite show because it was nothing. Okay?
All I can really remember are the very difficult episodes.
Spectre of the Gun. That's the OK Corral episode. Chekhov gets to kiss the girl, he gets shot, he dies, he comes back.
Where, as I've said, there was no time to rehearse, and frequently we didn't get the script until the day the script, we were going to film it.
The favorite episode that I didn't work on is actually two episodes, City on the Edge of Forever by Harlan Ellison and The Trouble with Tribbles by David Gerrold.
And then there were occasions when we didn't get the script and we got scenes and we didn't know how.
The Way to Eden, and actually, I don't mean to sound contrary, but I was really disappointed in that episode.
Okay, so I'm going out the door. Where am I going?
City on the Edge of Forever was certainly my favorite show of all. I thought it was simply because it was such a wonderful ensemble piece.
Now, while that hasn't been written yet, just go out the door.
I guess my favorite, of my two favorite, was Plato's Stepchildren, where I got to dress as Cleopatra.
Well, do I go out angry or do I go out, well, we don't quite know.
Naked Time. I love that fencing. That was great fun, a great hoot.
So you start playing everything. I'm going out angry, sad, funny, and mad. How do you do that? Star Trek garnered an Emmy Award for this visually exciting episode. All the special effects came together in the Tholian Web, complete with excellent miniature works, animation, and even a manufactured alien being. Some of the effects were contributed by Mike Miner, who would later work on a few of the Star Trek motion pictures.
Here was a quest to go out and seek other lives, other worlds, other people, other beings that we never knew existed before, or we never knew that might exist. So it was an enormous quest, and it carried within it, the way we wrote the show, a moral edge.
Every story, whether it was intentionally, these were moral dramas. These were like the old ancient morality plays done in the future, in space. And people love that.
I said, Gene, I know what you're doing. And he looked at me with that look. And I said, you're right, you're writing morality plays. And Gene looked at me and he went, shh. How wonderful. He said, they don't know it yet. They don't know it yet. Let's keep it to ourselves.
Twice before, Kirk precariously straddled two universes. In the alternative factor, the parallel was a negative world where emotions were reversed. And in Mirror, Mirror, Kirk, along with Uhura and McCoy and Scotty, were thrown into a universe where evil ran rampant. If scientific theory evolves to the point where it can be proven that there are an infinite number of universes, who knows how many Shatners would be talking about the history of Star Trek right now? Bing, bong, boom, bang, boom. Too many.